So, okay, let's get started with the story, okay? First of all, you know that what happened was Max came to Gramps up the mountain and to his grandfather, and he said that he was having a lot of problem with life, and he thought God made the day too short. Isn't that something? God made the day too short. Well, he asks, always comes to his grandfather and asks him for his advice, and his grandfather told him a story. It's called El Nu, and it was about the town or the region of Swansea. It was on a little island, and an angel appeared to them because things weren't going well in their life because they never had time to do the things that were important. And so the angel said to bless them, he was going to make the days to be 36 hours. And they were excited about that, and they talked about all the good things that they were going to do at that time. Well, they decided that they were always going to listen to the words of El, who stood up and said, you need to be careful, because remember, the angel said that he was only putting them to 36 hours for a certain length of time. And he said, beware lest you fill up this time and then you're caught pretty badly when the days are returned to 24 hours. Well, then part two was another angel came after years and years, and you know what happened? They just filled up the time, and they went back to the way they were, and they said, wow, we need the days to be longer, because they just filled up the 36 hours. And so anyways, at the end of yesterday, another angel had appeared, and he was just staring at them. And he said, finally, at the town festival, the angel finally said that he is reducing the length of days, not back to 24 hours, but back to 18 hours. Well, they thought, how could this be? They had originally thought that this was the same angel. Mm-hmm. But then they realized this probably wasn't the same angel. It was an angel that was from the enemy, from the devil. And so they had 2 weeks before the days would go back to 18 hours to pray to God that he would rebuke the enemy. And that's where we left off yesterday, that they were saying, no, this can't be. Okay, so as we move into the next story, there you have the summary, and this is the conclusion.
Chapter 5, A New Day.
Hey, Max, you want a Coke? Yeah, what kind do you have, Gramps? Let me see. I got Sprite, a ginger ale, and yeah, hey. But hey, I got some organic prune juice. You want some of that? Right, Gramps. Give me the ginger ale. All right. Oh, man, I lost my place. Let me look. Oh, I think I was right here. Okay, yeah, that's right. Well, the 2-week mark came, the day the angel spoke of. Sure enough, the sun began to set early. The day was only 18 hours long. The townspeople stood on top of the hill on Apricot Blossom Lane, and they watched the sun go down. Then they went home despairing, feeling as if the Creator had forsaken them. So alas, the Swandians carried their resentment, wondering why such an evil thing would happen to them. Grudgingly, they downsized their businesses, they quit their groups, they sold their investments, and they stored away their motorhomes. They did many other things they had to do in order to just survive with an 18-hour day.
Chapter 6. Purkis again shares his wisdom.
Well, after a couple months, Perkis took the stage again at the annual town festival. There, a significant thing happened. With great boldness, Perkis told about the stirring feeling in his inner stomach. Gramps, sometimes your elevator doesn't even go to the top floor. Then, son, why do you always come to me for advice? Okay, well, you got me on that. Continue your story. Perkis on the stage proclaimed, "My dear fellow Swandians, it is with most humbleness that I speak to you. You can receive it or not. You must choose. But I must say what I must say. I have had a revelation in my heart that I have pondered for quite some time. And now I am sure that I do speak the truth. The angel that appeared to us recently is not an enemy, as you all said, but he is a great friend to us." Immediately the crowd murmured and stirred like a crowd at a high school basketball game when the ref makes a dingbat call. Perkis stayed poised, and he calmed down the crowd and continued, "Can you not see that the angel is teaching us a great lesson of happiness? He wanted us from the beginning to see that being suffocated by time had nothing to do with the length of days. It is a problem within our hearts. We have allowed time to swallow us and our children. Families and our community have been the victims. Look at our lives. Who among us is truly happy? Many of our children have grown up and left us, betrayed us, or continued with the same problems we ourselves have. Our struggle with the length of days is not an evil without, it is an evil in the heart. The angel gave us the long days, hoping we would learn a lesson for our own good. But we did not learn the lesson. And now look at us. We are miserable people, condemning the one sent to save us. Now we only have 18 hours in a day instead of 24, and that may never change. But as for me, I desire to learn my lesson. For I believe there is enough time every day to do what my great Creator has destined me to do. And if I live right and deny this evil within me, I will prosper in my life and pass on that success to my children. You are free to join me, but today I change my stance and publicly say thank you to the angel sent by the Creator to help us. I also apologize to him for all the mean things we spoke against him. I now realize what I have lost by not listening to him and not listening to what El said. But now I personally must go forward." Then Perkis sat down. There was complete silence for about 5 minutes and 18 seconds. And then one by one the people began to weep. Then they gathered together and asked the Creator to forgive them. And they asked each other to forgive them. Every Swandian said yes to Perkis' speech. It was a great day of victory for the Swandians. Finally, it seemed as if they were beginning to learn their lesson. They decided they would try to repair some of the damage that had been done. But they knew it may take a long time. But more was about to happen.
Chapter 7. Swandians learn their lesson.
The next 3 months were very difficult and different months. People moved into smaller houses. They downsized their businesses or they hired others to help. Schools canceled meetings and churches had less good-intentioned programs that do nothing but waste people's time. Dads spent more time with their children and moms got plenty of time to talk and find out what was in their kids' hearts. Gradually, people began to get happy. Life was slower. Things were simpler. People only did what was good to do. At night, families would sit on their porches and wave to everyone out on a walk with their families. Nobody rushed anywhere. And people were still busy, getting up early and going to bed late, and forgetting to eat lunch and trying to rush through yellow lights before they turned red. But they were not too busy. The days were only 18 hours long, but they lived happily that way. Gramps, you mean the length of the day stayed at 18 hours? Well, wait a minute, Max, there's more. Son, recently I got a letter from Perkins. Gramps, you mean you're trying to get me to think that you actually know these people? Yes, Max, I do. Let me read you that letter. He wrote, "My dear friend who lives on the top of a mountain and drinks strong black coffee. In case you haven't heard, the angel returned earlier this year. He said that since we had learned our lesson, he was permanently returning our days to 24 hours. We were, of course, delighted, but there was no dancing or shouting for joy. We had become happy with 18 hours, and now a 24-hour day is just an added blessing. We have decided, though, to tell the story of the angel every year at the festival so that we never forget the lesson he taught and the lesson that El taught us. We want our children to learn from our mistakes and to teach their children also. We changed our town sign. It now says, 'Welcome to Swansea, the town that is grateful for every day.' Blessings, my friend. Come and see us soon if you can. We have plenty of time to spend with you." So there you have it, Max. What do you think? Cool, Gramps. Cool story. Even though you are old and half senile and you tell dumb jokes, you really do help me with my problems. I think you hit the nail on the head this time. How do you always know what to say?
Max got up and he headed for the door. On the way out, he turned and he said,
"I think, Gramps, I'm ready to get off the treadmill." No problem, Max. See you next time. Well, that's the end of our story, and it does have quite a lesson. And again, I'm saying for all of us who are just not like in Swansea where the days went to 36 hours, but for a lot of us, we have a lot of extra time. And when I look at how God is using this epidemic, although I do not believe that he started a virus, but yet he uses anything that the devil throws at God's people, he uses. And I really believe that this time is a time not to just fill up with useless things, but it's a time to learn. As I said the other night, children, read a book, learn something. Parents, spend more time with your kids. That when you come out of this and the social distancing is ended, that you can look back on this time and say that you invested that extra time for good. Okay? God bless you. If you're watching this on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button down below. And if you would like to make a comment, I'll put this on live, or I'll put this on Facebook. If you're watching it on Facebook tomorrow, just make a comment and let me know that you were watching. Okay? Hey, God bless you and use your time well.